So great to be here. And February is my FebFast financial month. So I'm financially FebFasting and I would love you to join me. Basically what I'm doing is a spend cleanse. And it's a short-term challenge and it's there to cut out any unnecessary spending, but also to become a lot more intentional with money. So if you have ever checked your bank account and thought, where did all my money go? Or you're tired of spending mindlessly, or you're sick of getting the hits from having home deliveries all the time, or you're feeling unhealthy because you're always eating Uber Eats, or you're spending too much money on Amazon, whatever it is, if you want to get more in control and let the shame and the blame and the guilt and all of that sort of stuff go, then a spend cleanse is just what you need. Think of it as a juice fast for your money. It's a reset for your finances. It's not giving up everything you love. It's not being really, really disciplined about anything. It's just removing those things that are no longer serving you and replacing them with something else very, very consciously. So in this episode, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do a spend cleanse, how it's going to help you, break bad spending habits, and how you can still enjoy life without spending so much money. So let's dive in. Okay, a spend cleanse. As I said, it's a short-term challenge. It cuts out unnecessary spending and it's for a set period, like 2 weeks, a month, whatever. One weekend if you want to. It's not about extreme budgeting. It's not about deprivation, but it is very much about being intentional with your money and removing and breaking all of the habits that you want to break. These are your habits. You know what they are. So the goal isn't just to spend less. It's to figure out what in your spending actually brings you joy and lights you up. What's a good habit, even if it could seem on the outside like a bad habit, like takeaway Fridays or drinks with your mates or whatever, and working out where the joy is in how you're spending your money. It came from humble beginnings. Katrina in my office many years ago, I want to say 10 years ago, decided to spend nothing new in May. Buy nothing new in May. So she went to the buy nothing new in May. I thought, well, if you're going to do that, I'm going to do that. That sounds like something fun. I'll join you on that little expedition. And a couple of other people from the office, I think, dropped in for a little while. Some started a bit later, but what we did was we'd made it a bit of a team effort. And if you go to Instagram and you go and look up the Happy Money Journey, I'm there every day doing something live, which is grossly uncomfortable for me, and putting in a live tip every day. They remain on my profile as reels. But anyway, my grossly uncomfortable tip of the day for February. And I'm doing that every day. And I hope that so if you need a bit of inspiration on your spend cleanse, jump into Instagram and hopefully that inspires you a little bit. So anyway, we decided to buy nothing new. That's quite challenging because what we did was make it just buy what we essentially needed and exclude things like even birthday presents, shampoos, all of those sort of things. Shampoos and makeup, because I had a heap of sample packets that I'd never used. So if anything ran out, I had sample packets to rely on, but I never used them. So it was good going through all of that sort of stuff and cleaning out the bathroom and cleaning out food cupboards as I was doing the spend cleanse meant that I was really looking at what I had. And I don't know about you. Have you ever gone through your kitchen cupboards and found things that are like well expired? And I'm over 3 years old, which can be a bit confronting. So doing the spend cleanse in line with doing the spend cleanse in line with maybe doing a bit of an actual cleanse at home really helped me get some stuff together and find out where I was spending too much money, but also look at what I actually had that I could rely on. So doing all that really helped me get my game on. And, you know, those things aren't quick, easy things to do. It takes a good day to clean out your kitchen cupboards and stuff. So if you're doing the spend cleanse, also do a little mini cleanse around the house. Go through your wardrobes, go through your bedside table, go through your bathroom drawers. Just one thing is enough. It doesn't have to be everything, but it really makes a difference and it can help you with the cleanse. As I said, it's all about what brings you joy. So let's talk about the actual how you are going to do this. And let's start with set a time frame. 7 days is great. A weekend is good. A month is how we started and a month is how I've gone on, but I changed the month from May to February. February only has 28 days, but also because February is the first month after the holidays where you've been away and you've probably been excessively spending. So having a bit of a cleanse sort of seems like a very noble and good thing to do. It doesn't seem that difficult. It's a short month. There's a lot happening in the month. So yeah, I found February. I like it. It's a good time frame for me. But as I said, if you just want to do it over a weekend, whatever it is, if you love it, you can extend it. You've got all the time in the world. The next thing is define what is essential to you. So your groceries, your bills, your rent, what are some of your other non-negotiables that you cannot give away? Like you need to have your morning coffee because there's something about that ritual that just helps you start your day. So going and buying a morning coffee, that's your ritual. If it's impulse shopping, if it's going online and finding a whole heap of clothes and filling up a cart and thinking, oh my God, I got all these beautiful clothes for less than $100, and they'll come to you in their little plastic packets and you're going through them and thinking, oh my God, this is horrendous. What have I spent all this money on? I have so many clothes now when you get them. So that's not the habit that we want to keep. That's one of the things that we do want to be mindful about. You make up the rules. They're your rules. But very broadly, define your essentials. And as you're defining your essentials, identify those things that are things that you don't need to have as well. So if that morning coffee isn't adding value to your day and bringing you joy, cut it out. Bring a coffee from home. The next thing is identify your triggers. So where are you always spending money? And I've got a friend who is always spending money getting Uber Eats and delivery food and all that sort of stuff. She's really busy and she is spending a whole lot of money on those sort of things and not feeling great either, like feeling sluggish and not feeling the good that you feel when you've got a nice home cooked meal. If you're eating takeaway 4 out of 7 nights, that's a lot of takeaway food. Your triggers that you're tired, your triggers that you feel disorganized, the trigger is that you don't want to go shopping. Whatever it is, you know what it is. You can go in and define that and say, okay, this is something that I need to stop, but I need to plan to stop it. So I need to have an alternative. My alternative might be that I'm going to go and get meal kits for a couple of weeks to recreate the habit of cooking from home without having to think too heavily about the ingredients, without having to actually do the shop, with recipes that are done for me on something that I probably haven't done before. Something like that can really break some of those habits. And I've seen people break those habits by doing exactly that. So that was why I thought that's quite a good one. Whatever your triggers are, being tired, being run down, sitting on Instagram and scrolling, whatever they are, take a pause, know what they are, make a plan. Because if we make a plan when we're feeling good about something, it's easier than if we're in the middle of the trigger, sitting there and going, oh my God, like I'm back again, I'm a failure, this all stuffed up for me. If you know your spending triggers, you are going to know how to break that cycle and it's really going to help you. Next thing, find free alternatives to something that you've been doing, like a coffee catch up at home. Like if you're online shopping, fill a cart and don't proceed to buy it. Start a watch list. Lunch with a friend with a walk in the parks. Well, it doesn't have to be boring, but invite people over. Have friends at home instead of going out. I made the very bad mistake of taking my daughter and my granddaughter out for breakfast. And breakfast actually, between three of us, cost just over $60. But when I paid for breakfast, which I paid for on a debit card, I have to say, I got a credit card surcharge for no apparent reason. And I also, and you know me, that would normally be the sort of thing that I'd argue about, but for some reason just didn't. And there was also a service surcharge on my meal, both of which were clearly mentioned in the menu, can I say. I did not read the terms and conditions before I signed up for that particular brunch. But what I'm saying is that's $75 that would have cost maybe $20 to do that whole breakfast at home in exactly the same way. Breakfast isn't I'd never think breakfast is a great meal to go out for anyway. It annoys me because it's exactly what you'd eat at home, but you're out. Whereas lunch and dinner, people can get quite creative. So anyway, the point is going out for something unnecessary when I could be doing something equally at home. Lesson learned. It won't happen again. Finding free alternatives to stuff that you're doing. Amazing idea, right? Just think creatively. Something that you'd like to do. Maybe you've been thinking that you'd like to go hiking more. Maybe take a hike instead of going to the pub. All of the things that are going to make you feel better, that are going to enhance your life, bring you joy, do something different. Start a book club. If you're feeling like the only time you ever get together with your friends is around a wine bar or something, start a book club. Start doing something that brings people into your home and your social, and you're forming meaningful relationships, because really that's the joy. That's what life's all about, isn't it? There's some thoughts. Track your progress. Write down what you wanted to buy but you didn't. Maybe think about how much money you've saved. Something that you did that you wouldn't normally have done. Take a week of spending. Just take a week of spending from a month ago and compare it to a week of spending here and see what you've done differently because of your spend cleanse and see what sort of progress that's made for you. Think of the money that you've saved. And I think one of the biggest things that we found as an office when we were first doing it was that we were spending up to $25 a day on coffee and lunch. $25 a day is $125 a week. $125 a week that we saved every week for the rest of our lives, because we seriously never went out for lunch unless it was a special occasion again. We certainly weren't walking up the street to buy a sandwich. When you finished the spend cleanser, when you finished you've met your time, you've tracked your progress, you know where you're at. When you're finished, you'll have a really good idea of what really mattered to you. What are some of the things that you miss doing? And what are some of the things that you didn't miss doing? Did you miss Sunday morning coffees with your friends, or did you miss going out and seeing people, or did you miss buying your granddaughter a treat every Saturday? What were the things that you missed, and what were the things that didn't matter? Did you miss getting Uber Eats every night? Did you miss going down to the sandwich shop every day and getting lunch? What you will know by the end of this, what are the things that actually bring you joy when you spend your money? What are your have-tos and what are your right out hard no's? And that, for that weekend, week, month, however long you've taken on your spend cleanse, is the quickest way to find out in life what brings you joy. what was really important and what really, really mattered to you. So whatever it is that has come out for you from it, I hope it helps you. I hope it brings you the kind of satisfaction that it brought me. It's certainly changed our lives in our office. And that's why I've kept doing it, is because I've actually physically seen it work really well with a whole group of very different people. A spend cleanse, let's just say, is not about giving up joy. It's about making space for what actually makes you happy. And it's a really great start to your own happy money journey. So if you're up for the challenge, definitely leave us a message. Let us know what's the thing that you're giving up. Let us know what things you might like to change. And in the show notes, there is a spend cleanse worksheet there. I've linked it below. And don't forget, with our podcast, with our YouTube, subscribe. Subscribing is going to give you more tips. It's going to help you take control of your money better. And I am here so that I can help you on your own happy money journey. I know how hard it was for me, and I would have loved to have someone that was just sitting there shining a light and guiding the way. So I hope I can be your light. Until next time, enjoy the journey.